Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm part of the Zhineng Qigong Student Hub design team. I work on some of the animations that you see on our Instagram and some of the graphic design on our website and things like that. Okay, so when I started working with Zhineng Qigong Student Hub, I had this idea that we should have these little caricatures that almost basically to give the website a bit of a personality, or our brand a bit of a personality. And I wanted to create these characters that could show movements and things like that, particularly to animate some of the movements that people could see for themselves, how to do certain things, how to do certain postures and movements and things. So it started off with this male character that was very bland looking. We were trying to explain how the beginning posture of the lift chi up exercise starts, how you start with your posture before you get into the lift chi up exercise. And there was this very plain character that I did, and from there it branched out into another character that we call Sheila now, and she was based off of me, not by my own decision, but she was based off of me with the curly hair. And yeah, she's almost like a part of our team now. She's got her own personality and everything, and yeah, she's one of my favorite creations so far. I guess she is maybe based off of me in the way that she is completely new to Qigong. So she's kind of like this character that's exploring with the newcomers to Qigong. So people who have never heard of Qigong, people who we bring in with the free starter kit, they would be introduced to Sheila, and because she's also a beginner, she's also trying to figure it out, and she just wants to share her knowledge. And I guess in a way she is a bit like me in the way that she's very reserved and but also very, I don't know, like joyful. So she's very keen to learn, and she's a devoted follower of Dr. Pang. And yeah, she's just very down to earth and open to the world of Qigong. So the purpose of the Ask Sheila series was just to answer some questions that people may have. Very common questions about Qigong and Zhineng Qigong. And we created this animation of Sheila sitting in an office. And I feel that the theme of her sitting in an office kind of reaches out to the modern world, modern practitioners, where most people, when they think about Qigong, they think about like some master out in the, I don't know, desert, some deserted place, just practicing peacefully on their own, like a recluse. And Sheila is not a recluse. She lives in the modern world. She's a modern woman. And I think that just, it brings people of this Western world, brings them in. And it just gives you this feeling of accessibility, and the common questions that people ask, she's there to answer it. And yeah, she's almost like this bridge between the Qigong knowledge and us. So what I enjoyed most is, well, I mean, when you create a character, you can just create some random character, but when you create a character, you put a lot of thought into their being. You're basically breathing life into this two-dimensional or three-dimensional thing, and you are its creator. And what I enjoyed most was drawing her in different postures, because when I drew her in different postures, it kind of gave me this need to do research on the Qigong postures and what it means. And because I mean, there can be one posture that's like, you know, like this, but you can't just do that randomly. You need to know how does the movement get to that point, and what does it do? How should certain parts of the body be positioned and everything. So for me, that was interesting because I learned quite a lot about Qigong through creating Sheila and through drawing her the different positions and things like that. Since the first draft of how she looked, she's actually changed quite a bit, and I also really like that that happens because it's a sign of the artist's improvement, and then it also makes the character look like they have aged or grown. With my process, I basically just start sketching the head. I normally start with the face and how the face looks, and usually the hair is a big defining characteristic of a character. Um, yeah, so her height and everything compared to the male character was different, the proportions and all of that. But overall, very simple. And then after creating her first look, I went into almost like a character turnaround, which is like the character from different angles. I started doing very different Qigong positions. Yeah, and that gave me a lot more confidence in my anatomy drawing and in just getting to know Sheila. So I do start in my sketchbook, just with the basic ideas, but I almost immediately go to digital once I have an idea, just because it's so much easier, especially if you are wanting something to look symmetrical. Yeah, the initial ideas and things like that are done on paper. The animation process it's been a lot of trial and error. I do the main positions in Illustrator. I create the main positions in Illustrator, and then I bring it into Photoshop, and I make multiple copies, and by doing that, it's easy to, so when Sheila waves in the waving position, it's easy for me to kind of just cut the arm off and change the position a bit, and then change it so that it looks like it's waving. So that cuts the work down quite a lot. So it's not like I'm redrawing the arm and the hand every single time. So her name, there's another character that I made, and his name was Dave. It was redhead, and so it was supposed to be Marie or Maria and Dave. And Torsten, our boss, came up with this idea that she should be called Chila. And it is an inversion of La Chi, which is also a Qigong exercise. And I think that's, like, it fits really well. It's like the most basic Qigong exercise for a beginner. So it's where you feel the Qi in your hand, and I feel that it fits well for Chila because she's the beginner and she's new to all of it, and I feel like she's a representative of the easiness that comes with getting into Qigong and learning about the principles.